Hi everyone, welcome back to the We channel where we talk about the mind, body and spirit and how you can really take control of those things to create the life you want, as opposed to the world dictating how your life goes, external factors, limiting beliefs, and the people around you. So you want to really take back control. And today I'm really excited because this law is so important, and it's called the law of diminishing intent. So we're going to talk about that, and I hope it really inspires you because it's really made a difference in my life. And we're going to talk about American entrepreneur Rohn. So he was just this phenomenal entrepreneur born in 1930, and he actually mentored the likes of Mark Hughes, the founder of Herbalife, Tony Robbins, life strategist. We've all heard of Tony Robbins. So Rohn mentored these guys. And what Rohn came up was not really a concept, but more a phenomenon, and it's called the law of diminishing intent. So what is this law? So basically the law states, and we've all experienced this, is that have you ever been inspired or taken by an idea? You're talking to friends over lunch, or you're watching a movie, and it's happened so many times to all of us. We out walking or wherever, right, in your kitchen, and this idea takes hold of you, and you feel this rush of excitement. You're alive, you know in that split second, that idea is awesome. That, okay? So you've got this brilliant idea, and you've got this feeling that washes over you, and in that moment, that's when Rohn says you need to take action. So what the law of diminishing intent is, really, the longer you take to put action to that inspired idea, the colder it gets. Basically, that's the bottom line. So in about a month, the idea gets cold. In about a year, forget it. It's gone. So you've heard yourself, you speak about that idea to friends, you get excited, and then you go home, and then the old you takes over. The old habits sink in. You end up sitting on the couch. You end up binge watching Netflix, which is what I do. I have that issue. And or your old routine takes over. So you have to, like Joe Dispenza says, you have to break the habit of being you. We are really our biggest problems. It's not really lack of resources, money, supportive people around you, etc., etc. You are your biggest block. Okay, so you've got to take your old you and get out of the way. So one of the things is just to be aware of the law. So the main thing is that it's called inspired action. So what is inspired action? It's when this idea takes hold of you, when it's combined with that overwhelming emotion. That's when you've opened the same doorway that Edison accessed, the same doorway that Einstein accessed, Beethoven, all the greats, living, dead. It's the same doorway. They're not more special than you. Yes, Elon Musk may have these awesome ideas, and he's one of my people that I look up to and I admire, but we're not all alike. So your idea is just as special, whether it's a homemaking industry or whatever it is. It's that sixth sense talking to you. It's your inner guidance system talking to you, and it's asking you to make a call to action. So one of the things I do with in my own life, because I have also problems with not getting things off the ground, and in some areas I'm really good at it, which happens to a lot of us. In some areas in our life we're really good at taking action, and in some areas of our life we're not good at taking action. So you have to learn to manage it. You have to control the beast of the five senses, the one that's asking you to watch something that's not doing you any favors. You've got to control that beast of the senses. The senses are not there to help you make decisions for your life. The senses are there to help you navigate the world, to not put your hand on a hot stove, etc., to enjoy a beautiful sunset. That's what it's there for, your sixth sense. And I spoke about this in the last video, so go and have a look at it, right? We're talking about things like memory, will, perception, reasoning, intuition, imagination, those kind of things. So the law of diminishing intent talks about where you're going to invest. You're going to invest in your will now. You're going to increase your willpower to go and grab that piece of paper and start doodling. So what I often say to myself and to people, I'll say, hang on a second, that was a really great idea. I'll tell my friends, that's a really great idea. Grab a piece of paper and start doodling. Just doodle. Like, you've got to make it tangible. You've got to take that idea together with the emotion, and then boom, it's like fire that goes off. And when that fire goes off and you start putting action to it, that's when it draws the right, then the miracles start happening. You've opened up the doorway to the divine. You've opened up to the doorway to something inside of you that's bigger than you and that connects all of us. So you're going to get a call from someone across the other side of the world. You're going to get a weird message in Facebook. People are going to start coming to you, opportunities are going to start opening up, but you've got to take that first action. You have to take that first action, and it doesn't matter if it's a micro action. Micro actions, remember the thing about micro actions, they are compounded. So they compound, and it then snowballs in a good way into a project, and the next thing you know, you're meeting people and having conversations you didn't have before, and talking to people you didn't know even, or talking to people that you do know, and getting help from the most surprising people in your life. Because believe it or not, you may think that you don't have a network, but we all do. So you've all got amazing, super ideas come across you, right, in your head. And don't you feel sometimes like when you're talking to your friends, you feel a bit bad, like you spoke to them last week about this idea, or you spoke to them 5 years ago and you're still talking about the same things, like you've got to get your act together, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Listen to the way you talk. If you're still talking about your idea, it's going cold. So inspired action, in my life, I don't really act for the sake of acting. So I wait for inspired action, and that's when I take action, right? And you've got to manage your actions. So one of the ways is to doodle, is to make it tangible. Put it in your calendar, put it in your reminders. The other way to manage the law of diminishing intent is to be aware of your theta state. So remember, there's alpha. What I'm talking to you now is alpha, then beta, then theta as you're going to sleep, and then delta, that's deep sleep. And in the morning, you're coming up, delta, theta, beta, and alpha, and you're wide awake. So before you go to bed at night and in the morning, so what I do is I am a WhatsApp girl, so I operate a lot on WhatsApp, and I've got a lot of groups with myself. And so I've got a group for family, my intentions, it's private. No one sees it. I've got a group for love, for family, for friends, for business, basically, and I write my intentions, and that's just my coping mechanism of navigating myself through this world. So I write out my intentions as I'm going to sleep, and it really, really helps, because you're opening that, because in your sleep, remember, you're quantum leaping in your sleep. So you're actually taking control in your sleep as well. So when you wake up, like for this past few, like 2 weeks or so, it's been really weird, because I've been having these really odd dreams, and I've been waking up like laughing. I know, I told my sisters, and they were like, what? And I was, yes, I've been waking up like laughing, and I couldn't understand what was happening, because I'm trying to, I'm trying to just put measures in place, which is what I'm talking about on this channel. So put those measures in place, write out your intentions, which is, by the way, writing out your intentions is the basis for everything, not just the law of intent. So it's just the basis for life. And as you're coming out in the morning, when you're waking up, you've got to have like at least 5 minutes if you can. And I know the kids are coming at you, babies, in-laws, spouses, friends, work bosses. I know the whole world is coming at you, but you've got to have that 5 minutes coming out of theta where you set your day up and you decide with your imagination, another incredible, powerful tool of creating the life you want. Visualize in the first person how you want the day to go, how you want it to run, how you want to show up, you know. So that's going to set you up and make you more prone to take action. The other thing, and that's really, really important, is stop labeling yourself. I've got a friend who always talks about what a procrastinator is, and then we talk about what a procrastinator is, and he's got the whole world talking about how he procrastinates. And he is a slow-moving individual, so he's not like someone who gets things done and just goes. You know, he takes long to act. So whether you take long to act or short to act, stop your old narrative of yourself. Stop it, throw it out the window. This is a new day. You have your own way of doing things. That's fine. We're all unique. You don't have to copy my way. You don't have to copy somebody else's way, but you need to decide how you want to take action. Put things in your calendar, have reminders going, okay? And ask yourself and then train your brain. You've got to basically lay down the neural tracks of how you want your brain to wire and fire in a whole new way. That's a departure from your old self. That's really what we're going with all these videos, is how you're going to show up differently, how you're going to start rewiring the brain to start showing up differently for yourself, you know. So you're going to tell the brain, hang on a second, it's an animal, right? The lower part of the brain. So you're going to tell the brain to help you. When you have inspired action and idea, you're going to then tell the brain, okay, hang on, put these measures in place. Can I do it now? Can I act now? Okay, can I act this afternoon? Can I act over lunchtime? Can I act before I sleep? Okay, let's put it in our calendar. Okay, let's have a note to ourselves on our mobile devices. Let's sync them. Let's just, whatever it is, you know, have a buddy system going on with your technological devices. Tell your brain that when you're sitting too long watching TV, tell your brain to set up reminders for yourself. Hang on a second, get up. And if you still feel you can't do that, you can't act, then do this thing that I saw on Abraham Hicks. So what Esther said was that she would actually write out a very basic list, like, okay, brush my teeth, make the bed, get dressed, put cream on my face. And I know this sounds really, really basic, but for people that are struggling, or if you're stuck in depression and you can't get out of bed, if you're feeling really down and really hurting and in pain, these basic lists of things to do really, really make a difference. So write that down and then cross it out, and that'll force you to get out of bed and to start focusing on things other than your pain and your depression, because that's running the old narrative and it's running the victim side of that old self, you know. So you want to move away from that. And so the law of diminishing intent, look it up. Get Jim Rohn's book as one of the key things in your reading list. Must have. Check out his videos, and just remember that when the idea hits and when the emotion comes together with the inspired ideas, that's when you need to act. You need to take some sort of action, because that action is going to attract the right people. The people that you've been dreaming about and talking about, it's going to attract the right resources. It's going to put you in a different frame of mind. So you're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more zest for life. You're going to start coming alive in different ways. And remember, you're not going to give to things that are siphoning off your energy in that present moment. So pain, depression, labeling yourself, judging yourself, living in regret, watching too much TV, addicted to sports, entertainment, junk, gossip, complaining about others. The list goes on and on. Look at yourself in the mirror, how fat you look, how ugly you look, talking to people that are wasting your time, your group of friends that are doing the same thing and their lives have not shifted one iota, and you're not in the same space, you're not in the same framework. Love them, but leave lunch half an hour early, go home and do what you have to do. you know, but make it happen. Take control of your life, okay? No more excuses. And even in that word excuse, change your meaning around it, you know. Don't buy into the same way you bought into the word of procrastination, for example, because those things can keep you stuck. So it's a new you. Just start putting little things in place. Law of diminishing intent, okay? You don't want to be a victim of that. So your ideas are amazing. The world is waiting for them in ways that you don't know. You don't know how great your idea is, how it's going to take off, whose lives it's going to affect. You don't know what's waiting for you. The only thing that's required of you is to open the door, idea and feeling, open the door, and then walk through the door. Action. You've got to do some form of action towards it. Micro action will build on micro action and build and build and build. And before you know it, you're not the same person you were last month, because at the end of 2021, I don't want to be in the same position that I was in the end of 2020. I don't want to be there. I'm not the same person. I want to do different things with my life. I want to look different, sound different, be different. I want to show up different to me. The rest of the world can just fall in place around me. Okay, so I hope this has helped. Love you lots, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get this message out. And the donation, the full PayPal is down there as well. Please read, but please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Love you guys. Bye.